Like, what is Rogue supposed to do here? Mid is pushed out. Caps has TP. You have no TPs on your team. Mid's pushed. You have a bouncing bot wave. And your jungler's topside. It's just a fucking horror. Like, what can they do? This Morgana ban made me really dizzy. I didn't understand this ban from G2. I think this is grief, to be honest. Obviously, they want Thresh, right? But they have... Morgana jungle sucks, and they've got Fiddlesticks anyway. And Kalista Morgana doesn't sound like a good lane into Viego, Varus, Rumble. There's no shot Morgana support is good here. The only logical reason I can see them banning this is for Thresh, because it's like decent in the Thresh. And then Rogue miss a ban. Because they missed their ban here, Rogue actually played it pretty smart in draft. Because they missed their ban, they wanted to ban Thresh, and if they did ban Thresh, then they would probably ban Braum, they would ban Tahm Kench, they'd pick Nautilus, and it would be Leona support, right? That's what I think the draft would look like if they ban Thresh. But because they missed their ban, they realized, like, okay, G2 probably want Thresh or Tahm, right? Now, we could ban Thresh, which we missed a ban, but then they're just going to pick Tahm Kench, and we're not going to be able to win lane. We could ban Tahm Kench, but then they're just going to pick Thresh. So let's just ban Nautilus. And the reason they ban Nautilus is because they want G2 to pick Thresh. Nautilus counters Thresh, right? So what they're basically Rogue is saying to G2 now is, we're gonna pick Thresh. Fuck your Tahm Kench. You can have Tahm Kench, we'll pick Thresh. Instead of banning either of them, they ban something else to give G2 a flavor, right? So they're basically saying like, okay, we'll ban Nautilus, right? That basically spells that they want Thresh. And Kalista Thresh is a very powerful lane. So G2 are like, okay, we'll take away Thresh. Varus Thresh is also a good lane. Here they have two options. They could go Tahm Kench or Thresh. But because of this, they pick Thresh. And that's where Rogue have the trap. They pick Blitzcrank. And Blitzcrank also counters Thresh. That's why G2 takes so long to pick, I think. Because they're thinking about Thresh and Tahm. And they realize like, well, Thresh is probably better. And eventually they lock it in. So a little bit of a mind game going on here in draft, which is really cool. Even though Rogue missed their ban, they're like playing a bit of poker here. Really smart, I think. Really smart adaptation from Rogue. Not every draft is like this intense, but to me, that's what I'm reading. As a pro player, that's what I'm reading. Because you have Nautilus, you have Thresh, you have Tahm, and you have like this trifecta, which you have to figure out the puzzle. And you just add a Blitzcrank into the puzzle, basically. That's how they solved it. Which is really cool, I think. Kalista Blitzcrank, really strong lane. Okay, I think G2 make a big mistake here in bot lane. Because right now, let's just stop right here. Stop right here. Thresh, Kalista, this bot lane, the push is pretty even. Both creeps are exact same HP. Okay, now let's look at the creeps, okay? G2 need 2 creeps for level 2. Rogue need 3 creeps for level 2, okay? So, the problem here is that Reckless should hit creeps. Because now they fast pushed and they're actually getting a level up first now. Rogue will get the level up first. And now watch what Mickey does. Mickey realizes that they're about to level up from this creep, and Mickey hits this creep, which is true. You should hit this creep. Reckless hits the Blitzcrank, but they need to hit the creep. And now Reckless realizes, shit, we're not going to level up. So then he hits the creep and they level up. But they're way too late. They fucked up. They made 2 mistakes. The first mistake is right here on this auto attack. Reckless should just hit these 2 creeps as fast as possible and get level 2 ASAP Rocky. But what Reckless actually does is he walks up to hit the Kalista while the Kalista is hitting creeps. So that's 1 auto attack lost. And Mickey is sweating for his life to hit creeps. We'll watch Mickey's POV now, okay? Watch Mickey POV. He is hitting every single fucking creep he can see. Look. Creep. 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 Reckless, we need to level up. We need to level up. Reckless! Reckless, hit the creep. We need to level up. Reckless! Reckless! And then they finally level up, but it's too late. Now let's watch Varus. Creep. Kalista. Creep. Creep. Blitzcrank. Blitzcrank. Creep. And now it's already too late. So I think that obviously, I think Kalista Blitzcrank level 2 is probably stronger. But I think the biggest mistake here was they're way too off sync. I think for sure both of them should have just focused on leveling up. Because you also have to understand, right, that this bot lane is playing with cleanse, right? Small thing, but you're playing with cleanse into heal. So I think 2v2 should be winnable. But now the problem is you have Fiddlesticks on your team, right? And Fiddlesticks full clear top and is taking enemy Krugs. Whereas Rumble cleared down to bot and is ganking bot through lane. So jungle diff, I won't say jungle diff, I'd say jungle champ diff is coming into play right now. And the good thing is Mickey still has flash, so they actually have good setup on this bot wave. The wave's bouncing, obviously, so Rogue should just chill out and let the wave come to them because their jungler's top. But the problem is Trimby steps up a bit, I think, here, right now. Steps up a bit and Mickey hooks him into Lantern Flash or something like this. No, it doesn't even have to flash, sorry. So that's 1 kill. And now the biggest problem here is, okay, Blitzcrank is dead, great. But the biggest problem is this fucking wave. Kalista is level 3, man. She needs this wave. But look what G2 does. Jankos was basing. And he thought, okay, plays over. And then I think the bot lane told him or something. Or he realized, like, fuck, there's no shot I can base right now. Like, look at this, man. This Kalista can't play the game. She can't play. She just can't play the game. Jungle's farming top camps, which is fine. I mean, it's Fiddlesticks. There's not much they can do about it. They're getting punished for winning lane here. The reason they're getting punished for winning lane is because they win lane, they push out, then the wave bounces, and they're getting ganked on the bounce. And they need their jungler to cover. And now they're getting dove again, man! Because the only reason they're getting dove here, is because Inspired dives mid. This is the only reason the G2 dive here. Jankos just wants to take Krugs and back off. Look, he's backing off right now. But because Inspired shows mid, they're like, wait a second, these guys don't have a jungler still. So they're like, wait, why aren't we fucking diving these guys? So yeah, good play, dive them. Odo's TP is a bit late. But the reason Odo's TP is late is because you can see he has to back off, otherwise he's gonna get cancelled, right? So he has to run into fog before he can TP. Wunder should probably chase him here, I think. Wunder should probably be chasing this cannon because they should communicate their diving and he can TP to cover. But yeah. I think he matches the TP anyway. In a sec. So it's a 1-for-1, which is always worth it because Kalista loses this whole wave, right? I think there's two things you have to look at on this TP. Don't look at kills for now. Two things you have to look at. It's how good is top wave and how good is bot wave. Bot wave stacked, so Kalista loses a lot. Great. That's perfect. And then when Viego TPs in, how good is top wave? If this top wave's pushing into red side or pushing into Viego, then it's a fucking cracked out TP, you know? But it looks like it's pushing into Odo Amne, which sucks. Now this from Wunder. Wunder. That's disgusting. I'm sure you're just calibrating your hooks because later on in the game he hits a good one. But sure. Maybe he kills Jankos there a bit. I think if he hits the hook, he's CC'd long enough for Jankos to kill him. Problem is this top wave. That's the only thing that sucks for G2 right now. Wunder's top wave is an absolute tragedy. And smartly, Rogue realized that top wave is a tragedy. And Larson drops mid wave and runs top because he knows this is 2-3 waves stacked up. And it's way more gold than a one single wave mid. So he runs top because he knows Odo won't get there in time. And while Caps is pushing mid wave, Odo runs mid. Jace has to push out top after catching the big wave. That's why he's really far ahead of CS because the wave is stacked. And Odo has to catch mid wave. And he's pretty even still. So Rogue, even though they lost the fight, good adaptation on catching lanes. Now they have to swap back. But Jace hasn't based since he moved top. So I think basing now is good on after pushing out mid. And he can base and catch next mid wave on the tower. Caps will get one push out here now. If he pushes this lane, which I think he probably should. If he pushes this wave, he's going to be able to move bot side. So again, when your bot wave is bouncing like this, and your jungle's top side, and enemy mid has one wave mid push, it's a horror. Like, what is Rogue supposed to do here? Mid is pushed out. Caps has TP. You have no TPs on your team. Mid's pushed. You have a bouncing bot wave, and your jungler's top side. It's just a fucking horror. Like, what can they do? What can they do? The map state is terrible for them. The only thing they can do right now is literally just base and run top. I think that's what they have to do, you know. Right now, they just literally have to base and run mid or top. They can't play. Absolutely unplayable lane. I can't even blame them for dying here. Even this TP from Caps was not necessary. I mean, it gives him a kill, right? And Jace will probably push in one wave and he'll lose a few creeps for it. But it's like... Now, after the wave was bouncing, Reckless fast pushes the wave because support is dead. And he does the same thing again with Mickey. They're proxying. Inspired's running there as quick as he can. Larson's trying to get something for Caps' TP play mid. Bot, sorry. I think the reason... There's a big weird thing going on here. And the weird thing here is why it doesn't Mickey base, I think is a big question. I think the reason Mickey doesn't base is because they don't see Inspired. You can see, look, that question mark ping right there. They think that Inspired is on their top camps. Because they don't see him, they don't see him, they don't see him, they don't see him. And then they still don't see him. Even though he's right there, and we've seen him on our screen, obviously. G2 have no clue where Inspired is, right? And Caps is scared mid. Small things happening here. Caps is scared mid here. You'll see he's on the bot side of mid. And if you watch your minimap, you'll see that he stays on the bot side of mid. You see that? Look. Keep looking at the minimap. You see Caps is still on the bot side of mid. He doesn't walk into the lane and clear the wave. Do you know why? Well, because he thinks that Inspired is on the Raptors or top camps. And he can ult over the wall. And Caps has no flash. So the reason Mickey doesn't base here and like help bot lane out is because he's sprinting mid with Jankos now. To make sure Caps is safe. Because they think Inspired is over this wall. Taking their top camps. They have no clue. So Mickey's just coming here to cover. Wunder's checking Krugs. You can see that there. Wunder was checking Krugs. Rumble's around to help him push out. And now they're checking the Raptors to make sure 100% that they're safe. Now they're safe. Now Thresh can base. Right? Really important play. No info enemy jungle. It's Fiddlesticks. Mickey has to move mid with Yankos to make sure that Caps is safe. He has no flash. Because let's say Inspired was there. Okay, let's say argument's sake Inspired was there. And he was able to ult over mid. Caps will die, for sure. Because Inspired can just flash ult flash, sorry. He's dead. Herald's gone. Top wave's pushed in. And now all of a sudden, the map is really weird. Because they're going to lose Herald for no reason, right? So, small things here that you should keep your eye on. Now the problem for this play, despite them having to bail out mid, every single play, it's like, what is it, Newton's third law of motion? For every action, there's an equal or opposite reaction. I don't know what it was. For Mickey moving mid, now Botlane is saved. Now Botlane can push out. Now Botlane can get the push, and they're kind of relieved. Even if Mickey base, they would probably get it anyway, but they have more time to work with, which is cool. Now Inspired's going to start up Herald anyway, because Mickey had to use all this tempo topside to help out Caps, so good start here from Inspired to start up Herald. I think it was probably the right decision to start Herald here. Now you might be wondering, why is Larson basing when his jungler's on Herald? Well, he doesn't base in the end. And the reason he was basing was because they knew that G2 had no vision on this Herald anyway. So he's basically gambling there. He's gambling his free base for G2 flipping it. If G2 flip it by walking into Herald, then for sure, well played. Well played, G2. Take the Herald. You guys are fucking poker geniuses or whatever, right? But if he bases and runs back, and G2 respect the fact that, well, Jace is missing, he could be in the bush, then he gets a free base, right? It sounds weird to bring physics into the account, or like Newton's third law, or whatever it is, right? But it's true. For anything you do on the map, there's going to be a response. And for everything you don't do on the map, there's going to be a response, kind of, right? So G2 going bot side to make a play bot. What's the response? Well, Inspired can't clear his top camps, right? I'm just going to take a random thing here. Inspired's base, okay? Inspired's base. What does that mean? Well, the reason he's basing is because there's another bot wave stacking. There's another bot wave stacking that Reckless is going to slow push. And he just finished Herald. And G2 know that he just finished Herald. So what's G2 doing? Now that they know Herald's down, they're going to sprint bot and dive bot. Look for something on the side of the map. Can Inspired clear his top camps? No, he can't. If he does that, he's going to lose bot side. And his bot lane's going to get dove, right? It sounds a bit weird to bring that third law of motion into account, but it's kind of true. No matter what you do on the map, something else is going to happen, right? And you have to always respond. If Inspired didn't base and cover here, then there could be a rumble coming here around the corner while he's clearing his top camps, and bot lane's all of a sudden lost again. Unfortunately, there's nothing for him to get, but the idea of what he's doing is correct. If he was clearing his top camps right now, he would be perma-banned from the game, and his bot lane would die, and they would stand in base, and they would say jungle diff. So yeah, you can literally look at any player in the game right now, and whatever they're doing, there's a response from the opposite role to do something for their own favor, right? No matter what you do, you can pick any example, and you will get something. So like, for example, we'll just take Inspired again. He's patting topside doing top camps. He was on a ward while he did it. So that means that they can probably get Drake here. Man. Or Mickey can base for tempo, so that he can actually stop him from taking his top camps. Some decisions will be bigger than others. Like obviously what I just showed you was a very small thing, but a lot of the other decisions will be bigger. I think there's a lot of those examples that you can make, but I think the most important thing to do as a coach, for example, is to pick the important ones. Pick the biggest ones, right? I think we've gone through the biggest ones that affect bot lane, which is the most important. Let's go, man. This was a really smart play from Trimby. Really smart play from Trimby. Watch what he does. He's hovering mid and he wants to walk into topside river, but Inspired's actually kind of out of time. Like if he was with him here, he could walk in. You see he hesitates for a second trying to walk in. What Trimby wanted to do there was maybe trying to go through mid and help out bot. So basically helping Larson push this wave, and then he can move down and actually get some vision, you know. But what he does is he says, fuck that shit. I don't have my jungler. I'm just going to go through bot. He got a ward as well, which is kind of nice. And he sees Reckless has no flash. I think the biggest indicator as to him going for this play, the biggest thing that started this whole play right now was, ready? Right there. He sees Mickey. He sees Mickey right there. And then he realizes, wait, this guy has no flash, no lantern. Trying to walk up to this creep. Sorry, what the fuck are you doing? And that's when he fucking goes for it. Sees Thresh clearing a ward, which is a mistake. Now, I think Reckless was actually pretty good distance away here. Pretty good distance, you know. A bit unlucky, but really well played from Trimby, right? Flashes over the ult. Really well played from Trimby, I have to say. Also, predict his movement. Jesus, man. Trimby is an absolute... It's an absolute 50-50. This is a 50-50 right now. If Reckless goes up... which I think most reactions would be, then he would dodge it. But pro players think that they're gonna shoot it, and you have to sidestep. And he tries to sidestep it. So Trimby predicts his sidestep. So, like... Yeah. There's really not much to say. Well played. And then he body blocks the lantern by just pressing S on top of it. And Hans does the same. Watch his next jump. Let's go, man. He jumps into the lantern as well. So they both just hug the lantern, so he can't click it. So he's just trying to click on it, but he's just getting fucking, you know, the sword icon or whatever. I think the biggest problem here is, okay, we'll play this, but I think the biggest problem here was Inspired, to be honest. Not problem, but like, I think Rogue could have gotten a lot more, perhaps, from this. I think Mickey should die here, for sure. 100% that Thresh should be dead. Okay. Yeah, okay, I think the biggest thing here was, I think Inspired could have just... I think Inspired, maybe what he should have done is... just gone into this bush, maybe, and where he is right now, and stayed here, and when he sees the TP, he should just ult on the TP, for example. Like, ult-ing now, and it ults, now, boom, ults, and then you can maybe, like, get something more out of this. But I think, yeah, Wunder has a lot of tenacity. Could have helped a little bit, because he fights the whole fight with ult up, and he has to use flash, right? So, feels really awkward. Okay, now because Inspired got Herald earlier on, they can Herald bot and give Kalista some gold back. So the game is like... This game is really good. This is a really good game so far. There's, like, insane mechanical plays. The last 10 minutes of, like, not macro, but, like, map movements, we'll say, have been incredible. Yeah, Wunder just forcing the fight because Caps is on the way. Now you have to ask yourself, what can Rogue get in response for that? Well, they can defend their bot side camps. That's about it. That's all they can do. Okay, now the map's in a weird state because Kalista Blitzcrank are playing through mid because of the waves. So this all comes down to the earlier play where it was like 5-man bot. Now Kalista had the base because she was low after the fight and she got a big shutdown. But Kennen TP'd in and he didn't actually have to do anything. So he stayed bot to push out bot waves, right? Which meant that when Kalista based earlier on, she had to run mid. Okay, we'll just go through it. So bot play happens, Kalista gets a lot of gold, has the base. Kennen actually stays, I think, on the bot wave to push out. Maybe he base and ran bot. So that means Kalista has to go mid, which means Jace has to go top, which is like a knock-on effect of things.
Let's go, man.
So now you have to see like the problem-solving puzzle, right, of Rogue. Because right now Rogue have their bot lane mid, and if they were to swap right now, they would lose both lanes of push, which sucks, right? So now Varus Thresh can hit bot tower for free, because this Kennen can't really lane against him. Like, no flash, Varus ult, Thresh hook, like that guy's dead. 100%. So what you'll see is Rogue tried to run top to do something there. So they're hitting bot tower. This Kennen can't really lane. He can kind of clear the waves a little bit, but once Jankos comes down here, this tower is dead. So now Rogue realized, okay, fuck, well, we can't hit mid tower because Orianna has wave clear. But this Viego, well, this Viego is reefing a bit. He is pushing out top, and that's not allowed. So at least they get something with this play. They at least get something with this play, which is really cool. Now, you have to understand that, like, it's hard for me to put this into words because I have to simplify things in a way. But, like, just look at the map movements, okay? They realize they can't defend bot. Running bot is useless. They don't have vision. So what's the play? Let's push mid and go top, okay? Now, that's two people making one play, right? The Kalista Blitzcrank are the ones making this play. But everyone else on their team follows. Everyone else on the team follows. It's everyone's job past 10 minutes. No matter what play happens, you're a part of the play. So Jace runs mid to catch the wave the Kalista Blitzcrank dropped. Odoamne backs off because they have numbers bot side, and then they make the play top, right? If Odoamne didn't back off bot wave, he was dead. If Jace ran top for no reason or bot for no reason, he's dead. They lose mid waves. You have to understand that pro teams play it efficiently while they do these things, right? Kalista pushes out this mid wave, or he leaves this mid wave and says, okay, Larson, you go mid. Or Larson says, I'll catch mid if you make a play top. So there's a lot of coordination going on here to make sure that everyone's on the same page. Like, even Inspired is not stepping up to clear this wave because he doesn't want to make Wunder scared. He just goes to his camps. Fuck it. So a lot of cool coordination coming in. Okay, so G2 get bot tower. Great. But Hans can start pressuring top now because he got Wunder. I think the thing that confused Wunder was, like, Kalista Blitzcrank show on a pink, but then they don't show on the next mid wave. So he thinks they're going to catch the next mid wave and he can push out this top wave because no one's here. Because Jace had the base or died. But then, yeah, they just dropped the whole midwave itself. So I think he should just wait for them to show on midwave. So what Rogue want to do is crack this tier 1 top open because they have no tier 1 bot. And it's really fucking awkward if you can't trade pushes on sides. Next objective is obviously Herald. So what Hans could do now is push in top, push in next wave, and then move down towards Herald, sorry. But problem is this guy probably has a lot of gold. And then obviously because of the play that he's making top, they have to respect bot side. They have to clear waves mid safely. Everyone's part of the play. Yeah, I think this guy has like 2k gold minimum right now in his bank after getting the kill, pushing out 3 waves in a top tower. Okay, now obviously G2 has to catch top wave, so when Caps shows here, that's when they can start forcing. And I think that Hans has no wave to play on right now. His top waves are pushed in. I guess he's going to take mid wave from Larson. That's kind of weird that Larson just gives it up for him, but he has to get the top, I guess. And they can start Herald. The reason they can start Herald is because Kalista is absolutely fed and they have good controller on top side. And top wave's in a good spot for them. Kennen has TP up soon, so yeah, pretty good start. Okay, now because tier 1 top's dead, they can actually start trading pushes on sides. Like Wunder will push in bot, Larsen will push in top, and then each team will control that side of the map, right? Unless they want to swap it up. Like Jace could base and match Wunder. I don't know if he wins at this point. Probably does. I think when that guy gets Sunder, he's going to lose though. And then Kennen could match Orianna, but I think Kennen gets absolutely fisted by Orianna right now. If Rogue want to accelerate this game, they should probably get Jace bot, because Kennen has TP, and then they should play for bot side vision and try to get this tier 1 bot while Drake's up. But then again, I think G2 win fights, so it's really awkward to do this. So I guess grouping up mid and getting the push is probably better, because you have Herald. And what Rogue can do here is they can push in mid with this Herald. I really don't like this, to be honest. I think Larsen maybe Larsen made a mistake here. I don't know. I can see what they're trying to do here. Like, Kennen's just pushing out safe bot wave and is going mid. I think Jace should take over bot lane right now and start pushing. I think the reason he's not doing it is because they don't have info on Rumble Thresh, right? Like, they could be here, they could be here, they could be here. But I think once you Herald mid, Jace can be here. Once you Herald mid, then you can start pushing bot like a psychopath. Because if they actually commit 3-man bot, they're going to lose 2 towers mid, right? And you have TP in case they try to force mid. So I can see what Larsen's doing here to try and cover mid to make sure they get the push out. But I really think that Rogue could have had much better lane assignments for this play. Pog, let's go, man. I think Larsen could already be here hitting the wave and pushing it in. And then starting to hit bot tier 1 because they're going to show on mid, right? And if they don't show on mid, then they're ganking him. Let's go, man. He can buy time and they can get 2 towers mid with Herald, right? So I think that he should have put 2 pressure points on the map there. And if G2 made a play, he has answers for both. Because now bot wave is bleeding creeps. And he could have taken this and started hitting tier 2 bot already right now. But now, Wunder is hitting top. So yeah, in the end, they'll get bot tier 1. But I think they had an extra wave to play on there for free, which they just kind of dropped because they were scared. I think what Trimby does here is really good. It's just with their champs, it's good comms. Reckless can't get blocked by Mickey here. So flash hook is good. If that lands, he's dead, right? So good to trade flashes. The reason it's good to trade flashes is because you have Kalista ult, obviously. Navarus has no flash, so that just helps out a lot. Yeah, and now Larsen finally takes bot tier 1 and has the wave crashing. I think it could have crashed earlier. G2 could have lost more gold from it on the wave. And you could have got more gold from the wave, which actually died trying to bounce it. Oh, that was slow pushing. But yeah, it's only a little bit, but it still could be better. This play was complete tempo murder. This was an absolute tempo murder play. Like, the problem with this play is your Viego starts to back off top and he has TP, and your bot lane is hugging top side. Like, this play is absolutely terrible. If your bot lane, if Rogue bot lane was running like this, then I think this play is understandable. But if your bot lane starts to hug top side and they want to collapse on Viego, it looks like, you're making 2 plays at once. It's absolutely terrible to make 2 plays at once. If Kalista Blitzcrank were like here now, they could stop this Rumble from chasing. And they could maybe kill him, force his flash, and then Wunder TPing is a lot harder because Oruamne can match. But now, look at your Kalista Blitzcrank. It's just a 2 versus 5 bot side. Like, it's just... And then what can they get from this? They have no top wave. They could hit mid tier 2, but they can't take it. Yeah, you just have to base for tempo. And Blitzcrank can't do shit. So, big mistake there from Rogue for sure. Like, Rogue have had mid push this whole game. This Kalista has had these waves under tier 2 the whole game. But they've not actually been able to do anything with it. This is good. Wunder is getting punished again for pushing outside, and he has no flash from earlier play or ult. I'm not sure if they needed to TP with Kennen. Like, I think this Kennen TP is really important. If it was something like, I don't know, Illusion or something top, I don't know, it's a random example, I think the TP wouldn't matter much. But I think right now, the Viego is dead. Right now, without the TP, he's dead. Like, this Kalista Blitzcrank's running, Jace can just hit him and chase him down slowly. There's no tier 1. Orianna showing on mid-wave. Rumble showed 2. I can see why they're TPing to make sure they get the kill, but I really think that this TP was not necessary. Because now it feels like you're bleeding bot waves again. Like, that's already 1 wave dead. Now you're going to lose a 2nd wave, and this is just slow pushing, and you can't force anything. Like, 20 minutes in, killing Viego is great. You get the top push, but you can't start Nash. Drake's not up. I mean, you can look for engages mid. Jankos is definitely griefing. Now, you could force Nash, but Inspired makes a big mistake here. I think Inspired needs to stay in the pit. Like, who's tanking this if Inspired, like... It feels like this 4-man needs... I think at this early in the game, maybe Inspired needs to be there. Like, you can see what Inspired's trying to do. He's basically trying to sit here, so that when they walk in, he can ult them. But I think that G2 didn't really need to do it. They can just poke them, and they're looking for him anyway. And now you're getting chunked out so hard. And now you have no smite in the pit. Yeah, not great by Inspired. I think you just have to stay in the pit at that point. It's too early in the game to look for that kind of thing. Obviously, if G2 walked in, they would all die. But they just kind of poked them out because no one can tank it. You either force the Nash and you're going to lose the fight, or you just fucking base for tempo, to be honest. Maybe a solution here is like, once this pink ward dies and Inspired's here, maybe he can just like walk to here and ult over the wall with Kalista, like now, just ult over the wall, but they don't have vision, which sucks. Because Kennen can also flash over the wall, and so can Kalista, but it's really risky to turn like this. It's really bad. I have no idea. Okay, really good force from G2. And there's no Kalista ult up yet. I don't know if they knew that there was no Kalista ult up yet. They managed to get a kill, a pick before Drake, which is cool. It's only the second Drake, so Rogue don't really give a fuck. Yeah, Wunder's pushing way too deep again on top. This is the third time Wunder's getting caught on side lane. Almost one-shots Kennen though. Rogue playing on 2 lanes here. Larsen's basing. I really don't think Larsen should base here again. Like, I think this base from Larsen is bad. If Hans pushed this top wave and based, I think Larsen basing is fine. If Hans pushes in this top wave and is focusing on top tier 2, Larsen should just be ready to hit bot tier 2 right now. Right now he could be hitting bot tier 2 because he sees them. And now they have 2 pressure points again. And G2 have to answer somehow. But they're not doing it. Like, Larsen base, and now they're just giving this up. I think bot tier 2 is dead here. Bot tier 2 is dead. And if some world G2 want a 4-man collapse here, your Baron's gone. You have already got the setup for Baron. If they want to do this right now and collapse on him, they're griefing because Baron's up. Maybe Caps could clear the wave, but I think then he can just run away. But if they even try to commit more, then Nash is gone. I guess he wants to base and defend mid tower, but I think that dropping this for this is for sure worth it with 24 minutes. Again, Hans is really good at playing around pressure. You think he gives a fuck about these mid waves or bot push? No. Guys, I need to pressure the map. Like, we're trolling here. We're playing Jace 1-4 and we're not pressuring the map. I will go side lane and push this. I think, again, this is an example of where Larsen should be. I think Larsen's map movement here was really weird. So we talked about him having to push in bot, right? Let's go back a little bit in time. He should be pushing bot, right? Is what we talked about right now. But then watch Larsen on the map. He runs mid, takes Raptors, runs bot, takes Krugs, catches bot wave, doesn't push the next one out, runs mid, catches mid wave. I think Larsen should have based, done the same kind of movements, but then caught this next top wave. This is crazy what Hans does, I must say, because if you look at the Rogue's map, you know they don't see shit, right? They actually don't see anything. They have no wards topside, but they know that they have double TP, so he knows he has Kennen and Jace TP. That's the only ward they have right now. So he doesn't give a fuck. Just force G2 to come to us, so that now you can push mid and you can push top. Now his pressure does something for his team. His team can actually pressure now because he forced them to match something top, which is what a side laner should do. But they're using their Kalista over side to do that. This was really unlucky, by the way. This was really unlucky. You know, Hans has no flash. I know he has cleanse, but if that hooks and Mickey can fly with it, and if he cleanses the hook and Mickey flies at the same time, then they can exhaust him too, and he's dead. So that sucks. Mickey really flipped his coin there. Respectable flip. Good force. They tried to force Nash, but Fiddlesticks has the lifesteal on blue buff, and Kennen is really low, so Jace has to tank. I mean, it's understandable that they force here. It makes sense. Like, it's logical to just force Nash because you have Kalista Fiddlesticks. Okay, first of all, the first thing here is Inspired's W reset on the blue, so it means the cooldown's lower, right? So what he could do right now is he could walk up to this Baron right now, and he could press W right now and tank it. He could stand right here and tank it, okay? And if he just W's it, then he's probably gonna lifesteal out the Baron damage, and it's not as bad because right now Hans is tanking Nash and Larsen stepped back, and Inspired's not tanking either. And Inspired takes forever to use W, right? Look how long he takes to use W. Now he uses it. But Hans has been tanking Nash the whole fucking time, man. After Larsen dropped it right now, Hans is tanking Nash, which means he does less damage as well. So Hans is doing 0 damage while tanking Baron the whole fucking time. Instead of Fiddle just taking aggro right now with W or Jace just tanking it, Hans is the one taking all the damage. But then Inspired dies to the Varus Q, Rumble Ult, Dark Harvest, one shot. Larsen is tanking the whole fucking thing. I think Larsen also should just commit here. Like here, Larsen on this Rumble Ult should probably just run here with Hans and just start hitting the Baron. Because Hans is probably screaming right now, just fucking finish it. I have so many stacks. But Larsen runs away. Now Hans is still tanking Nash. And by the time Jankos gets in the pit, he's 1 HP and has the back. That was really unlucky. That's Rend. Yeah, he did 1.1k damage with Rend. I think he probably surprised himself there. If Rogue gets this Baron, I think the game is in a good spot. Because your Jace gets Baron. Which is really, really huge. If someone fucking tanked Nash just a little bit longer, it's crazy. Game of inches. If Larsen just didn't drop aggro here of Nash, or Inspire just fucking tanked Baron for like 3 hits, or anything happens, this Baron's dead. Like, the amount of fucking Nash tanking that he did the whole game is ridiculous. The whole fight is ridiculous. Hans literally tanked the whole Nash. It's really hard to think of these things in the moment, but yeah, this is just the reality of it, right? Trimmy gets caught, Drake's dead. So the game's not lost for Rogue right now. The problem is, like, they could have had so much more. Oh, Rogue just gonna force overside again, man. They're really good at forcing overside. Mainly Hans. But, like, the fact that they get this many picks overside, it's crazy. I think someone should be pushing top. That's a really big mistake there from Rogue. Like, what realistically are you defending here? This tier 2 is dead before you can get there. And you have a wave hitting top tier 2. You can see their question. I think Rogue hesitate here a bit. You can see, watch the minimap. Question mark pings ready. 1, 2. I think they should already realize that by the time they based and run mid, this tower is dead. And there's no bot tier 2 either. And they can't hit tier 3s against Jace, Cannon. Hans should stay and everyone else should base. That's fine. 4v4 on mid and this top tower is dead. Perfect. Push into tier 3 and base. Hans gets a little more gold. Great. Min-maxing a little bit, but still, that's the correct play I think here. Because what does Hans actually do here? He just kind of like stands there. They look to try and fight, but G2 obviously back off. Good try and force here from Rogue. Smart decision. Problem is, Odoamne gets exhausted and Reckless lives. If Reckless died there, the fight's won. Good turn from Rogue though. Really good turn here from Inspired onto Caps. Hans dies though. Crazy fight. And now Inspired dies. It's fine though, this fight doesn't mean much. Just give shutdowns, right? They can't get anything for it. Can't get bot tower, can't get Drake. Can't push out waves. There was nothing G2 could do from that. So Rogue is still kind of safe even after losing that fight. Just the problem is that Jace and Fiddle lost flash. But Reckless used his, so. But G2 have full control of Dragon. And Rogue tried to like bait out that they're gonna force Nash. But like, you have to understand that Rogue here, they can't walk into River. They can't do it. Like, they have no vision. They can't see shit. They're against Thresh Virus,
let's go, man.
Orianna. If they walk up against these, you're instantly one-shotted. So this force on Nash is understandable because what they say is, well, we can't get to Drake, but let's force Nash and try to flank. So at least that means instead of us fighting into them with all of this vision they have, right? Look at the amount of vision that they have. It's ridiculous. Instead of us doing that, let's force them into us and we have the ones with position, right? We're going to lose Infernal Soul, but if we can ace them, then we can get Baron and we have a chance. That was the idea. And it was fucking sick. It was sick. Really, really insane play from Rogue. Like, props to them. What they actually do here with Odo is crazy. It's actually crazy that they get this at 30 minutes in the game. Like, this play was absolutely insane. Absolutely insane play. What Trimby wanted to do, because they don't have that much vision on G2 right now, I think he wants to walk here and hit this way so they could get vision. And then Baron's free. But because he does that, Wunder kills him. Wunder gets this. Hooks Hans, who doesn't flash the hook. I mean, even if he does flash it, Larsen's dead as well. So really insane hook from Wunder. And
let's go, man.
Now the fight is lost.
Cracked.
I think this fight is winnable. It's very min-maxing here and nitpicking. But if Larsen stays in hammer form, I think they win the fight. The fact that he swaps to ranged now, he can't actually do anything. He has to wait. His hammer form's for like 3 seconds. If he had hammer form right now, he could just jump onto Wunder. Just jump onto him and just one-shot him. Just Q, W, auto E. Does he have it up? Yeah, he has E up. He should just jump on him now. He should stay in hammer form right now and jump onto Wunder. Q again, auto E, swap to range and then kill him. They would win the fight, but yeah. I think Larson kind of misplayed that a bit. But it's like really, really nitpicking. If you were to go back and run it again in hindsight, then that's how they could have won the fight. Now G2 have Inferno Soul and Nash, so now the game is pretty lost for Rogue. Like, they're just a bit out of it. They can't fight anything. Even when they try to make TP plays, it's a 1-for-1. So now it's kind of lost no matter what. Like, you can't walk up to G2 ever. I guess there is a TP ward here, but I think that's too far. I think this, if I'm not mistaken, this is a blue orb and this is a normal ward, I think. So I guess he could TP here, but yeah, that's a bit of a Hail Mary, isn't it? I think that's so far away. Absolutely impossible. He's really trying, but he can't. And now, yeah, he's pretty much dead. He has to stop watching E or he's dead. Yeah, dead before he can flash ult. Inspire tries to ult in too, but he's just absolutely one-shot, isn't he? He just gets absolutely one-shotted. Yeah, that was a really cool game. That was a really cool game.